Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another crochet series. This series is going to be all about wall hangings. I'm going to cover everything from how to attach your wall hangings to a dowel rod or tree branch, how to fringe, how to hang, everything. So this is going to be a two-part series. So this is going to be part one, and in part one we're going to cover how to attach the wall hanging to the dowel rod or tree branch, and then also how to hang your wall hanging on the wall. So if this is going to be helpful for you and you're interested, then please keep watching. Okay, so to get started, what you're going to need is a pair of scissors. I prefer to use thread snips because they're just easier on my hands because I have little hands. A yarn needle and a dowel rod or tree branch that is trimmed to size. I usually get the tree branches from the woods behind my house. If I use dowel rods, I'll just pick them up at my nearest craft store. But when you pick up branches or dowel rods, you're going to want to trim the piece to size, leaving about 1.5 to 2 inches on either side, just to give a little wiggle room for when you attach the wall hanging to the branch and also when you hang it. So to start, we're going to turn the wall hanging upside down, and then we're going to line up our branch or dowel rod to the piece, again leaving about 1.5 to 2 inches on either side. Okay, and then we're going to grab our yarn. Another piece of information to note, at the end of every single one of my wall hanging patterns, I'm going to ask you to leave a tail, roughly, usually it's about 3 feet to 4 feet, depending on how wide or long your wall hanging is. And this is strictly for attaching the yarn to, or attaching your wall hanging to the tree branch. You're more than welcome to attach it, you know, any way you prefer or are comfortable with. Some people like to single crochet or slip stitch along the branch to attach their piece, but personally I like the way this looks, but it's totally up to your preference. So we're just gonna thread our needle. Alright, and to get started, we're going to first unknot all of this. I probably should have done this before I started. Let's see. Oh my god. Okay. I almost said we're going to be right back. There we go. Oh my god, there's a knot in it. Okay, I'm going to be right back. Okay, and we're back. I'm so sorry about that. I swear there is nothing more irritating than knotty yarn. Literally knotty and knotty. I'm so weird. Okay, so to start, we're going to throw our yarn over the tree branch so the yarn is laying on top. Then we're going to use our yarn needle, go underneath the tree branch and into that first stitch on the top of the wall hanging, push the needle through and pull. Right, and as you're pulling, you want to make sure you're not knotting up the yarn in the back, because if you're not paying attention, it can knot and loop in the back and it just kind of looks weird and you'll have to start over, which is so annoying. Okay, and then again, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to toss the yarn over top so that the yarn is laying over top of the tree branch or dowel, and then we're going to insert the needle into the next stitch and pull the yarn through. Alright, and that's it. Super simple. It is a little time consuming, but like I said, I really like the finished look that it gives the piece. So I don't mind doing it. But again, if you want to do something a little bit faster, feel free to just single crochet or slip stitch along the top. But I'm going to go ahead and keep going. I'm trying to think of any more tips that I have. I don't think so. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the end, and then I will meet you guys when we're at the end. Okay, so now we've reached the end. I'm going to go ahead and finish it off. We're just going to toss that last strand of yarn that we looped through the last stitch, flip it over to the back, and then we're just going to insert the yarn needle into like one of the loops on the last stitch from the last row of the, not the foundation chain, the wall hanging. And then we're going to go through another random loop again, pull it till there is a little loop here, throw the needle through the center, and pull to tighten. Just like that. Alright, and then all you have left to do is to weave in the tail, and you just weave it in back along that last row of the wall hanging. And trim off the excess. Alright. And that is how I hang my wall hangings. Again, it is really time consuming and it could be a little extra, but I love the way it looks. I think it gives it a really nice finished appearance. But now that we have attached the wall hanging to the branch, we're going to attach a cotton yarn to be able to hang the wall hanging onto the wall. Okay, so to hang the wall hanging on the wall, what I do first is I drill 2 small holes on either side of the branch, about 1 inch from where we placed these loops to attach the wall hanging to the branch. I can't remember what drill bit I used. I used one just large enough to be able to put my yarn needle through with some yarn attached. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take cotton yarn because for me personally, I find it's a little bit more sturdy than acrylic, and it also gives a nice appearance. So we're just going to thread, if I can. Come on, I think I got it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the cotton thread and we're going to push it through the hole that we've drilled on the side. And then all we're going to do is knot off the cotton yarn a couple of times. Right, just so it won't pull through, and so it's nice and tug. And then we're going to measure the cotton yarn to the end, measuring probably about 3 inches, just enough to have a little bit of wiggle room just in case you measure just a little bit off. And then we're going to thread the yarn needle again. Let's see if I can do it on the first try this time. This is literally like my least favorite part, is just threading the needle. Okay, first try. Okay, so we're just gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna snake our yarn needle and cotton yarn through to the edge, or through the hole. And then what I like to do is I like to pull it just until I'm happy with the length of the yarn and how I think it'll hang, and then I'll mark it with my fingers and then pull it back out and then knot it where I marked it. Here we go. Just to make sure it doesn't come up too short or too long. So again, we're just gonna knot it a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4, and then pull through just to make sure it's nice and snug. All right, and then all we're gonna do is trim off those tails. All right, and there we go. I don't know if you can even see it. And that is how I personally like to hang my wall hangings. Again, you can use any preferred method that you like. Some people like to wind it up on the ends and then knot it off and then do it that way. I tried to do that a bunch of times and I just could never get it to look nice. So that is the reason why I went ahead and drilled the holes on the sides, because I feel like it is the cleanest for me, because if I try to do it any other way, it's gonna look a hot mess. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it and it was helpful for you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I will leave all of my social media channels below, and you can feel free to send me any DMs with any questions or leave any comments below this video. And I will also leave the link to this pattern in the description box below. This exact pattern is not available just yet. It will be in a few days, but the original blue version of this pattern is available on my blog, so I will go ahead and link that for you. And again, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload part 2 of this series where we do the fringe and the steaming. And I will see you guys in part 2. Bye!